Good morning, good afternoon, students. I am Mr. Josh. Today, we're going to be exploring different ways to be a smart and safe passenger in motor vehicles. So to begin, how does everyone, this is for students obviously, so I know everyone here drives themselves, but how do you get to school at an elementary level? Who's bringing you to school? Any
School bus.
school bus?
Parents.
Parents? Yep, daycare. You might have a wide variety. There might be
Could be the Uber driver.
Uber. I hope the kid's not Ubering at 7
I
years
have a lot
old.
of
But
retarded children.
yeah. But you might also have like friends' parents, guardians, grandparents, all things like that. So for the first part of our activity, it's gonna be a bunch of activities we're gonna be doing today. And the first part is gonna be, I'm gonna be reading off a couple scenarios, and if everyone has a piece of paper and something to write with, you can bring that out now. And we're gonna be listening to the different scenarios, and then you're gonna be reacting based on the emojis we have up on the board. So we have the angry emoji, happy, sad, and the unsettled or unsure emoji. And you can hold on to your papers too, because we're gonna get back to it as well afterwards in the lesson. So, and also, I'll know everyone's all set when their eyes are on me, and I'll get into the next scenario. So for the first one, after you wake up in the morning and get into the car with your guardian, you notice them swerving on the road due to texting and driving. How do you feel about that? And you can just draw a circle, and then you can fill in the face afterwards too. Nice. The second one, you're getting a ride home from school with a friend and their parent. Their parent is driving. The parent picks up a phone call and begins talking while driving. How do you feel about that? Alright, so number 3, when you get into a car, you instantly buckle up your seat. You're a smart, safe passenger in the vehicle, but you notice that your parent does not buckle up. So how would you feel when you see your parent not buckling up and being safe and smart as they're getting ready to drive a motor vehicle? And then for the last one, so in the morning, the bus comes to pick you up, and you notice that the driver is eating and driving recklessly on the road, driving over speed bumps at high speeds. How are you going to feel about that as a passenger in a bus? Alright, nice. So now we're going to have a little discussion, and we're going to hear everyone's opinions on how they feel about these scenarios. For the first one, with your guardian is driving in the morning, texting and driving, how do you feel when you hear something like that, or you see something like that as a passenger in a vehicle? Mad, angry. Could also definitely feel worried and unsure about it, because that's definitely not a smart thing to do with a child in the car, and not responsible for as an adult either. So that's something that you would definitely feel, two emotions that you would be feeling. For the second one, now you're with a friend and their parent, and she picks up the phone when she's driving. How would you feel about that one?
Upset, angry.
Sad.
I said unsure.
Yeah, it's a little different situation. It's not like it's your parent, so you don't know how to approach that situation, how you'd feel about it. It's a little bit different because it's just your friend. It's not really your business. At the same time, you would hope that your friend would be the responsible one and say something as well, because you might not be comfortable with that parent, or they might just be nice enough to bring you home or bring you to school, or whatever, however so that might be. So for the third one, with the seatbelt situation, that's definitely unsafe, and that's something that every parent should be trying to implement as they get into a car. because they want their kid to be doing the same thing and staying smart and safe like throughout their lifetime. They're going to be driving someday. You will be driving someday, and that's something that you always want to do first when you get into a vehicle. So how would you feel about that? Yeah. Yeah, because if a car accident occurs, then you're not in your seatbelt, and then it could definitely end very poorly for whoever's not using the seatbelt. And then for that last one, with the bus, and the bus driver driving reckless, that's a different situation because it's a professional. They're driving you to school, they're bringing you back back home. How would you feel about that situation?
Angry.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely nothing good about any of these situations at all. So for this next part, we're going to split up into groups of 2, however you're sitting, and we're going to go through some live scenarios of how you would react to these situations. You can switch off. One person can be the driver, one person can be the passenger, and you're just going to be imitating these scenarios. I can reread them. We can go one by one. You can just hear everyone's responses as they go, just like a live little practice run to see what you would do. You can switch off, obviously, like I said, and just telling the driver how you would want them to be safe and be correctly driving a vehicle with a youth when you're in the car. All right. So everyone's in their groups. How we got the groups? And we're in the United States, so the driver is on your left side, the left person, not the right. All right, so for the first one, we got the swerving on the road. You're texting. You might have your phone on. You can pull your phone out like you're texting and driving. You might not be driving with your phone, but
is this the scenario where you're going to tell us
this is the scenario, and then you're just gonna.
Okay.
Now you're gonna be talking it out in a live situation. Get your phone down. Make sure your phone's staying down, out of sight.
My daughter was very upset.
Seatbelt's on. She's a smart student. She's driving with your phone.
I was texting and driving, and I said, I was scared that I might crash into
Express your feelings. Alright.
It is precious cargo.
Excuse me, precious cargo here.
Alright, now for the second one. Now you're on the phone. Someone picks up the phone. Yeah, you can switch it up. Now the other person's driving and the other person's going to be the student in the situation. So now you pick up the phone while you're driving now instead of texting. It's a little bit different. How would you approach that?
What do you mean? She's driving now?
Yes, switch it up.
You don't drive?
Mom.
Yes, I do.
That's a great way. What could you tell me? Hands-free law. It's a new thing. The hands-free law.
I said Dad needs to get the Bluetooth. I know, I was like, I can't afford Bluetooth on my car.
They'll pass it now.
I'm a college student.
I said if you want to drive down the road. You're giving your friend a ride now.
True, exactly. There's not just one student anymore, it's two.
I asked her to use the Bluetooth so that she had both hands on the wheel.
Exactly.
Her new car has capabilities.
Yes.
I did not tell her she's not using it. Tell me I'm breaking the law. There needs to be no private conversations.
Great. Yeah, so obviously the big thing now, all the newer cars have the Bluetooth, so that would be something smart to recommend. You want them to make sure that they have both hands on the wheel correctly, they're being a safe driver. You just definitely would want to make sure, or just tell them to put the phone down, hang up, and let them know that they can call them back afterwards. It's not that, unless it's an emergency. Who knows with the emergency, you never know, some things happen, but for the most part, you can definitely make that phone call later on. So for the third one now, this is with the seatbelt. And how would you tell someone, a parent, especially this is with your parent, how would you tell your parent now if they're not using their seatbelt, but you want them to put that seatbelt on?
Mom.
You're not gonna put it on. Oh, I forgot.
Very nervous.
That's a good one, I like that.
I was saying, as a kid, you'd say to your mom, you're not wearing yours, but I'm not, and mom would put it on.
Then someone make her
Most
put it
moms
on, yeah,
put
put
it
it
on.
on.
I mean, maybe not all. They're probably
She has to make a
like
decision.
reverse,
Yeah.
reverse psychology.
Yeah. Hopefully not while they're driving, but.
Right, tantrums, whatever they want, so. My son does that out of my driveway, sometimes I pick up the stop sign, and if it's a dead end street,
They know to use their seatbelt.
I'm like, I always belt it by the time I get to the stop sign, but it doesn't always matter. I had to do it in the driveway.
She kicks it.
That's what she said, we hear the beeps. The beeps is like,
I don't have
I don't want to hear the
car.
beeps.
Yes, I